It's been a while.
It hasn't. We're the Wildflowers.
Yes, we are. Go ahead.
I'm Judy.
I'm Carol.
I'm Peggy.
And this is number 88.
88.
We haven't been as consistent as we were in the beginning because we've all been so busy with certain things.
The fall has been really rough.
Yeah, well,
for a lot of ways.
When you've got young teenage girls who are very busy, it's a lot for you and your job.
But you had your book launch.
Oh yeah, exactly. All of that, all the events, and Peggy does all sorts of things too, with family and the pantry
and Spanish lessons
and filling out postcards.
Oh, yes. Postcards! I've done a lot.
Yeah,
I did a ton of them.
I did a few more.
I averaged, I think, somewhere between 500 and 600.
I did 550.
Oh my God, you did more than I did.
We did.
Yes. I love that she has to throw that in there. No,
we were discussing it. How much more we did.
And I worked full time with all this, but hey.
Fine.
No, but we're close to the election, right? I saw today in New York is the first day of early voting.
Oh, okay.
And I was supposed to do that before I came too, but
I didn't know where to do it.
Tomorrow.
But I saw it as I was driving my girls today. They were taking the PSATs this morning. There's an open voting there, and I didn't realize where you could do it. So I said,
"What at the school?"
There's a community center like all the way to the school. So I said, I gotta go there. I might go there tomorrow.
Yeah,
and get it because we're how many days out from the election? 10, I think. 9.
Today's the 26th.
6, right? So
7, 20, 30, 31, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
10 days. So whoever you're voting for, just vote. That's my thing. I'm gonna plug in, vote.
I know. Unfortunately, mine is a couple of blocks away.
Oh, okay. So that's not bad.
No, and I said, okay, I'm gonna leave in time. I didn't.
Well, it's good to have a plan to vote.
Yeah.
Right.
Whatever it is.
Well, my
just have a
neighbor
plan.
wants to go with me in the morning of, and then go out to breakfast afterwards.
how nice.
So that's what we're going
That's
to do.
exciting. The only thing I don't like, I like to vote on election day too because it's more exciting.
Yes.
But I always have this fear, what if something goes wrong? What if I'm sick that day? What if I wake up and I can't leave the house? What if there's a snowstorm?
Yeah.
So that's why I just do it early.
That's a good idea.
I had a really different thought, which was kind of morbid. And I don't know the answer. I never looked it up. So maybe I shouldn't say it. But what happens if you die after you early vote?
I was wondering that too.
If you say I vote today, I hope nothing happens. But something happens to the people thereafter.
I was wondering about that myself.
I would think
Your vote
would still
count because you were legally able to vote. Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
So that's what I think too.
Yeah.
But it was just interesting.
Speaking of being legally able to do something, I read this. I didn't read the whole article, but I read, like enough of it to get the gist of it. That Elon Musk, who is like such a big Trumper now, and like he's all for like having closed borders and. He's an immigrant from South Africa.
Right.
And when he came here, he was going to school in California, I think Berkeley, or one of the big schools. Mm-hmm. And then he dropped out of school, which made him not legal anymore.
Oh.
And he started a business, which was totally illegal. He started his first business called Zip2, and it was before he Zip, Z-I-P, Zip2. I don't know what it was because I didn't want to read the whole article.
I can't stand Elon Musk. It makes me
really hypocritical. I mean, what a freaking hypocrite.
Well, they're
and the person who wanted to buy his business realized that it was totally illegal. So he said, well, now you have to get legal status before I'm going to give you $3 million to buy this business.
Wow.
But nobody cares about that, and it's not political. My dislike of Elon Musk has nothing to do with his politics. It just it happens to do with him as a person. I'm more impressed by a character of a person than I am by their accomplishments.
Yeah.
And way before he got overly politicized, which he seems to be at this point. I never liked him.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not denying that he's not, you know, probably a genius.
He's brilliant.
Very
He is.
brilliant man.
He
I'm not
is.
denying that, but his character is so unattractive. I mean, his own children don't like him. You know, his own. It's just. It's so. It turns me off in such a way that I just think you are not a nice person.
Right.
And I don't care how much money somebody
Yeah.
makes
Oh,
or what
no.
they create in advance. At the end of the day,
Mm-hmm.
if you're despised by your children,
At the end,
like, that says a lot.
and at the end of
Yeah.
your life, what counts more?
Right.
When you're dying. You know,
Yeah.
if you had all these accomplishments and all this money, but you were a despicable person.
Right.
I disliked him from, remember when we had the bookstore? His book came out. He wrote his...
Oh, I don't remember that.
Oh, yes, he did. It was like a biography, or he may have written it actually, and his picture on the cover. And I looked at him, I said, oh my God, he looks so obnoxious, so self-involved, and
Yeah.
you know. So anyway, that just it struck me as so
That's very-
hypocritical
Well,
that, you know,
that's
nobody
that's-
talks about that.
Of course not.
Yeah.
I just had this conversation with my husband about him, and he's obviously very impressed by the accomplishments. But I,
Right.
you know, and we had this very same conversation. We're having that very similar, and I was just like,
Yeah.
no, they're just certain people, and again, it's nothing
Well,
to do with
that's-
politics. It's how their character is.
Right. Right.
That's why I can't understand how half of this country could think that Donald Trump should be the president of the United States.
Because of the lack
His
of
character, the lack of character.
But a lot of people are impressed by money and financial gain and accomplishments, hence
And
why
they love
they
that
idolize
he's-
Elon Musk.
But they also love the fact that he's a bully, that he's
Yeah.
obnoxious, that he was, when he was, you know, doing press conferences as the president and calling people
Oh
fake
my God,
news.
it's stupid.
And-
That's a stupid question, but
Yeah.
he always did that to women.
Yeah, yeah.
It was always to
No,
a
he
woman.
did it to a guy. I remember
Yeah, but most of the times he
You
was
know,
directing
but
those
he's-
insulting comments to
he just,
women.
I don't, yeah, and these are questions that he can't answer. But anyway.
Okay, well, let's get off that
Yes,
depressing
well,
subject.
vote. Yeah, I know. I can't even. I turn off the TV half the time now.
I know.
I watch old episodes of Will and Grace, and it entertains me.
Oh,
I know. I watched Rifleman, and,
Yeah.
you know, and I've seen them all now. Now I went through every single Columbo like a million times, and the Rifleman. So I have to find. So I started watching 25 Words or More, and
Or
I
less.
don't know.
or yeah, or less.
Well, my kids discovered the old show, The Office, which I never really
Yeah.
got into
Yeah.
before. And then so because it's on now so much, I realized this show is really, really
Oh, it's
funny.
funny.
Yeah.
And last weekend I was in about half hour away from Scranton, which is where the
Oh,
office
that's
is supposed
right.
to take
Mhm.
place.
Yeah.
You know, so I said, well, we're gonna have to
Yeah.
drive through Scranton to see where the office is. And I
Excuse me
remember,
one moment. My
and-
dog wants to get on the
oh,
bed.
that's okay.
You're gonna put. Yeah, he's barking because I think.
No, he wants to go out.
Oh,
Oh,
sorry guys.
that's okay.
That's
Who
what
was
happens
it?
with dogs.
Oh, Lewis.
Yeah,
He needs. Yeah, he was in a good
Yeah.
frame of mind today.
Yeah, he'll bark in 2 minutes to want to come right back to you. Just so you know. Just so you know, Peggy, he's gonna bark in a minute or two to want to come right back in.
So just stay there, and Carol and I are going to do this without you.
With or without.
Well, actually, I read a good question while we're waiting for Peggy. It was on one of my book groups online where they asked, "What is a character that has from a novel, right? That
Right.
has been, in your opinion, been accurately portrayed in the film version of the
Oh.
novel?" And I thought that's a great question.
That's a very good question. I would need time to think about
Oh,
it.
you don't have any.
All right, a character that's been accurately portrayed that I've read in the book.
Right, and then you've seen the movie, because usually the movie disappoints.
Right.
For
Oh,
me,
yeah,
anyway.
yeah.
After you read
I
the
would
book.
have to say Scout from
Oh, and that's
To Kill-
one of your favorite books.
yeah, To Kill a Mockingbird.
So that's similar for me, because one of my favorites is Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice.
Right.
There's so many versions of it, but
Yeah.
the longer BBC version of it,
Okay.
they had Jennifer Lehle is
Oh, okay.
how you spell her name. She was the best portrayal of
Really?
Elizabeth Bennet, in my opinion, ever. Still
shout
to this
out to
day.
her, shout
Yes.
out.
And Colin Firth played Mr. Darcy on
Oh,
that
right,
one.
and you
and
liked-
he was very good
you
at that
liked
one
that.
too. Yeah. I thought
Yeah.
he was excellent.
Yeah. Oh, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
I'd have to think of some other.
What about you, Peg?
I think she's outside on the deck.
Oh, did she actually go out with the dog?
I think she went outside
Oh,
with the
okay.
dog.
So what else are we talking about while we're waiting
Let's
for
talk about Peggy.
Yeah.
Let's.
her? We were out with her last night.
Yes, yes.
We can tell you
was
something.
I was doing I was doing an event at the Barnes and Noble in Lake Grove, and the special guest there was Daphne the Yorkie. Sweet little Daphne, 2 pounds and something.
From Yorkie 911.
Yes, rescue.
Right.
Absolutely, yeah. And
Which is where you got a lot of your rescues.
yeah, yeah, I did. Yeah.
It was
And
nice to see Heidi there.
I know, I love her. She's so awesome what she does.
It reminds us of the good work that rescues do. You know,
Mhm.
that you do a lot of.
How's Flower, speaking of rescues?
Flower is doing great. We took, my husband and I, we went away for our anniversary, but we took Flower with us.
Right.
To this converted barn out in Pennsylvania, and she loved it. She
did?
absolutely loved it. They were
Do you
deer
think
there.
she loved it too because she was getting all the attention as well?
Yeah, she's not getting as much as that we would love it because we can't fully acclimate her in because of the
Right.
cats. So
Right,
it's
right.
hard for her. But she's getting a lot. Don't get me wrong. She gets
oh yeah,
she gets quite a lot.
I know you. She does.
And she's doing great. Still available if anybody's interested.
wow.
But she's, you know, she was actually a wonderful, really good. The first day she was there, she was just all hyper up because, you know, she was just used to. It was great to have her with us all the time.
Right.
And then the second night, she just chilled. And then after that, she was fine.
Oh, wow.
You know, so she was just, she just needed that first day to get it. Oh,
like,
my
did
gosh,
you
I'm
two
here.
go out to dinner at all and then leave her at the?
No, we cooked inside. You know, I really just wanted to just kind of get away, not deal
Right.
with anything. Because
Right.
it has been a really stressful month. And so I just wanted to do that.
Right.
And so, I'm sorry.
Now we're losing Judy.
Yeah. Okay. And like I said, it was rural Pennsylvania, and we just stayed in, and she just enjoyed.
Did you let her outside and run around? Like, how was that?
We had to keep her on a leash the whole
Yeah,
time
that's
because
okay.
the owners lived straight up. They were still on the premises, but we didn't see them because they had 44 acres and they had a house all the way up the road, and they said they have a dog that they keep unleashed and 2 cats.
Oh.
My Flower's not good for cats, and she
Right.
can be very tough with dogs that she just meets. Like, it needs a gradual introduction.
Oh, okay.
So what
Right.
we ended up doing was buying one of those like 30-foot leashes.
Okay. And
With-
they can go back and forth.
No, it was meant to be like for a stake in the ground because I thought,
Oh.
when we're sitting outside, we'll
Right.
stake her out. When we didn't stake her, we just walked around with it.
So she was 30 feet ahead of you.
Yeah.
That's hysterical.
It actually worked out great because she loved it, and the countryside was beautiful up there.
Yes. You got good weather.
Perfect weather. I mean,
That's
it's been so
perfect.
dry here on the East
Yeah,
Coast, right?
yeah,
I don't know where you
yeah.
guys are watching us from, but we
Yeah.
haven't had rain in
It's
days.
it's been a month, I
Which
think.
is a little concerning,
yeah,
don't you think?
Yeah, I know. We definitely need rain. We definitely need Peggy. I don't know where she is.
I think
Let me
she's
make
with
sure
us.
she's okay.
Okay, so
So
now
it's just Judy. You can sing it.
it's just
You
Judy.
can sing it, just Judy. But-
You're probably wondering
Oh, okay.
why I called you here today. Let me tell you.
And another thing about Peggy that annoys us is that
She's back.
Oh, she's back.
She's coming back.
Oh.
Peggy, we've been waiting for you. We're almost done with the show.
He was like wanting, sniffing everything. He had to poop and he peed.
Well, there you
And
go.
now we have
Well,
to-
I think it's time for wine. I'm sorry.
Oh
Yes,
my
I
God,
think
that's
so,
so
too.
Talking about Flower. That's what
Yes.
we're
Oh,
talking
okay.
about, so.
Yeah, and how she enjoyed being away.
That's not my glass. That's my glass.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Would
She
you
was
take my
trying to steal
fishy
your
glass?
I get confused.
Now, I brought this wine,
Okay.
and I'm still not drinking wine. It's been 6 months. I'm not drinking any alcohol.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Okay. So, this one is called Ray Wood.
Smells nice.
Lacey, lay
It's
down.
Cabernet Sauvignon. Let me put my glasses on. And I got this at Stu Leonard's. And it's 2021. It's Central Coast.
And don't tell us the alcohol content.
Okay, now you guess that.
And we'll guess the price.
Wow,
Lacey.
Lacey.
Now, since
Oh,
you,
she's trying to get the costume on.
No, she's not. She's rubbing her
well,
ears.
you girls drink, ladies drink that, I'm gonna drink a Guinness Zero.
Okay.
All right.
Because I just wanted you to see it online, what it looks like. I don't know if I did this while you were
No.
here. And if you girls want to taste it, Peg, I know you don't mind a Guinness, I don't think.
I don't like Guinness.
Oh, then there you go, don't taste
Yeah.
it then. But doesn't it look like a real Guinness?
It does. It does.
It's
It's
gotta
hard to
settle.
see
It's
with the
gotta
light.
settle. I know, because there's no light.
Yeah.
in it.
Yeah, it does.
And it tastes.
Maybe a little lighter looking.
Well, it's gotta
A
settle
little
still.
lighter. A little,
Yeah.
yeah, it does have a little lighter look.
But
a
it
little
tastes
lighter
like
look.
Guinness.
Does it smell like Guinness?
It smells like Guinness.
Then
I
it
don't know
must
how
be
they
Guinness.
did it. I don't know how they did it, but it tastes like Guinness. It
Oh,
smells
really?
like Guinness, and it's delicious.
That's great.
Absolutely
I'll
delicious.
taste it. Is there a little left in the can?
Yes, there is.
I'll taste it from here if you don't want.
Ah, cool. Go for it.
Kim matches your sweater very nicely too.
It does. It just tastes like a lighter version of Guinness.
It's very good. This is what I've been drinking
Wow,
that's
in my
very
year
cool.
off of alcohol, and it's
Wow.
been very good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So anyway, to the wine, Ringwood.
Okay. Well,
Okay, well, cheers.
Cheers.
happy
All right, I'm gonna
Halloween
Yes,
Happy
happy
Halloween.
Halloween.
There you are.
and vote. Okay.
To a good election.
Yeah.
Mm.
Free and fair.
All the elections will be fair. We have free and fair elections in this country. Yeah.
Well, that didn't
I
sound.
have Guinness in my mouth.
Oh no!
I have Guinness in my mouth.
Drink the
And
wine.
that's hysterical saying.
So this is a California wine.
Okay.
I have to clean my palate a little bit.
Okay. Sonoma County. And I'll give it says plush, velvety, and ripe. You'd be hard pressed to find a better value California cab. Yeah, so yeah, you'll have to figure that out.
Okay.
Do you want me to tell you what the notes are, or do you want to guess?
Wait. I'm not good at this.
All right, I'm going to read it since we've
Yeah.
been going so long.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Rich red fruit notes are underpinned by gentle oak and a touch of pepper, all leading into a silky finish. So what do you think this
It is a silky finish.
Is it? Oh, good.
Mm-hmm.
I have to have something to eat
Oh, this
because
is-
all I can taste right now is Guinness.
I should have given you that afterwards.
That's really funny.
All right, so what do you think? How much alcohol?
Okay, I am going to say 12%.
Okay.
I'm gonna do 12 and a half.
You both are wrong. It's 13 and a half.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All
And
right.
what do you like?
It's
it?
very smooth. I like it.
Yeah, I
It's
like
nice
it.
smooth.
Okay,
It has
very
a
much.
nice.
I would give it definitely 4 wildflowers.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
yeah, I would
Yeah.
do 4.
And I would say that you paid $12.95 for this.
Okay, what do you think?
I'm gonna say $13.99.
Okay, well, I got it at Stu
Oh,
Leonard's.
so a little higher.
No,
Oh.
actually it was $9.99.
Wow.
But I've seen it online when I looked it up again, up to $14.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's a big,
Oh, okay.
that's a big
Yeah,
difference.
wow.
You know, so that's
Okay.
a good value there.
So, and it's Ray Wood.
Ray Wood from Sonoma County.
Very, very cool. You know, and I've gotten to where I don't mind the screw tops anymore. I used to
Neither
be
do I.
bothered. I used to be bothered by them, but with the cork issue, you know,
Yes.
it's important.
I'm gonna put it over
Anyway,
here.
but no, I like the wine. You're lucky.
And I like
I
it
do-
too.
You'll do anything.
Any
anything
excuse
to
to have
get-
a peanut butter cup.
All right, so are we gonna move on to the book?
Oh, sure, that would be me.
Well, I don't see a book in front of you.
Well, I have a few down here, but this is from the next podcast, bunch of them. But whoops, I'm gonna fall over. Okie dokie.
That is a lot of fun.
Oh, there, that was not good. Hi, I'm back.
That was a very sultry voice.
Was it? Thank you. I have a sultry voice.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so what's next? A backstage pass to the West Wing. Please, I'm going to get pissed off because
Okay.
the two of you do not know the value of this show. And it's cast and crew and its enduring legacy of service. And
Is
it
this
was
fiction or nonfiction?
no, it's not
nonfiction.
nonfiction. It's
Nonfiction.
about the West Wing.
Oh, okay.
And it's 25 years since the West Wing came out, and there was a lot of articles. And I know that 3 of the characters are actually going on touring, doing events with Kamala. Martin Sheen is one of them, and 2 of the other actors.
I thought Julie was. Julie,
Julia Louis
yeah. Because she's always on Facebook.
I know, but I didn't say that she wasn't. I'm just
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying that they are doing from what from the West Wing.
Pardon me.
Well, no, I mean I was like, what's the Bruce Springsteen as well, and
Beyonce.
and Eminem, and
Yeah.
Barack Obama. But anyway,
One
so
M&Ms.
it's
Oh, she wasn't on West Wing.
No.
I'm thinking of Veep.
oh yeah, no, I love
Okay.
it, but although it's very upsetting because it's very concerning, like it's like him. So yeah, one article I did want to read from the Times of Presidential Zingers in a United America. As the West Wing turns 25, its wit and romance have aged far better than its politics. And so here's just a couple paragraphs from the article. I am the Lord your God, thou shalt not worship no other God before me. Boy, those were the days, huh? And that's how the character of the president, Martin Sheen, comes in, because there's this woman there who is against homosexuality, and she's got a radio show, and he goes in, and that's how he confronts her with a room full of people. And she's the only one sitting down, and he just quotes the Bible, like the stuff to put her down, and then he says, one final note. When the president comes into the room, no one sits down. And just her little reaction, like she had to stand up, and it was such a great scene. So anyway, that was that. So he goes, thus do we meet President Josiah Bartlett, and who is Martin Sheen. And he was only supposed to be not an integral character at all.
On the West Wing?
On the West Wing.
Oh.
Initially, he was just supposed to be sort of in the background, but his character just took off because they just gave him such great dialogue. Well, he was a Democrat of New Hampshire in the pilot, and that was in September 22nd, 1999. So having your protagonist's first line be the literal words of the Almighty is, shall we say, a statement. This was the series that saw politics as civic religion, a work of patriotic evangelism that appealed to our better angels but failed to match up with earthly reality. Because that's how we wanted it to be, like this. But before all of that, it was a well-crafted emotional workplace drama. And so that it's 25 years, and actually the publisher sent this to me, a complimentary copy, because they know I'm such a fan of the show. And it's been written by 2 of the cast members from the show. And it's just going along, I haven't read the whole thing, obviously, but they're interviews about the show, which ones they liked, which ones, did they feel was representative of who they are. And it's a pretty
Oh, and they have pictures too.
yeah, there's pictures too. And it's just like the one about the veterans was just heart-wrenching. I cry every time I watch that one. And I yearn for a president like Bartlett.
I know how much you love that show.
I love it. And so this book is called What's Next. It makes a nice holiday gift for anyone who is a fan of the show, or even the newsroom, because it's still Aaron Sorkin who was the producer for these shows. And it's just a commentary of how the world could be. And it's just so interesting to see how the office of the West Wing does work. And because he does take a lot of scenarios that we were living, it's so different now, and uses it on the show. So if anyone wants to get a copy, that's what it is. I would definitely give it 2,000 Wildflowers. And if you haven't seen the show and you're critiquing it, maybe you shouldn't critique it unless you've seen the show.
I did see the show.
Oh, yeah, you're very sensitive. I didn't say you.
Yeah, I know who you were directing it to.
To both of you.
It was okay. It wasn't like, oh my God, I have to watch this all the time.
Yeah, it just every episode was just so fascinating. So anyway, that's all
That's
all
what
I've got.
I'm glad that they made a book. This, it's funny when you get really attached to shows.
Oh, yeah.
Like when we were in Barnes and Noble yesterday, book that caught my eye, and I had heard actually that it was really, really good by a few people, was The Third Gilmore Girl, which was written by Emily.
Yes, she
mother.
played the mother. Yes,
and
she was
I
doing
heard-
interviews. I saw her on an interview.
I heard from 3 separate people the book was well worth the
Yeah.
read, and I said, you know
Yeah.
what, but I should have picked up, but I was
Yeah,
already
but see,
having to go
I
back
didn't
to books.
because I didn't watch that show either. But she
But
was
I
a
love
very
that show.
good interviewee.
Okay, that's
you know.
good to know. I might pick
So-
it up.
Who was that?
I don't know her real name. She was the mother on Gilmore
Oh.
Girls.
Yes,
Who was it that got mad at me that I've never seen the Gilmore Girls?
probably me, because I love
Yeah,
like
I
you
never saw
love
it
this
either.
show. I love the Gilmore Girls.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I've never really, I don't even know when it was on. Like, I don't even know, like, I saw, oh, it's on, but I'm not going to watch
It was on in the 90s, I guess.
I didn't watch it then. I ended up getting into it on the reruns when I was late in my pregnancy. And you know when you can't
Oh,
sleep?
yes, uh-huh.
And I remember sitting up in the living room just because you can't sleep. And
Yeah.
that was really the only thing that kind of was on.
Yeah.
Right, right.
And that's how I got hooked from
Yeah.
watching it from there. So
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
good. I'm glad there's a book for you and for other people who like the show.
Right,
But
exactly.
it's also nice if you love a show and somebody does a book about it to see the photos in it,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
because you feel connected to it.
And it
Yeah.
extends the experience,
Mm-hmm.
which is nice.
Yes, so it's called What's Next, and Aaron Sorkin wrote the foreword of the book, so.
He's very
Yeah.
talented.
I love him.
Yes.
I know that some people get annoyed how, like, I love the scene from, I think it was Saturday Night Live, when they imitated from the West Wing, because they usually walked and talked around the halls of the West Wing, like that's how they did it, like they
Oh,
filmed
yeah.
it. So they did it on the Saturday Night Live, and it was just hysterical, because they're walking and some people fall off into another room. It was very entertaining, but yeah. So who does the topic?
I do the topic,
Okay.
and it's almost Halloween,
Yes,
so
it
I
is.
guess this will air right before
Well,
Halloween.
you're gonna
Probably,
share it.
yeah.
If you share it with me tomorrow, I'll upload it.
Oh, okay. So we already did a very extensive, a couple of years ago, thing on Halloween, so
Yeah.
I didn't go there. But I get this newsletter every week from History Channel, history.com. It's called Inside History. And this popped up the other day, and I thought it was interesting. And it was about who invented candy corn.
I just think that's
Oh.
hysterical.
I love
just
candy
think
corn.
It's hysterical. I don't think
All right.
you do.
I know, I never liked it. Even when I was a kid, I
love
never
it.
liked
I liked
candy
it as
corn.
a kid, but I'm not a big fan of it anymore. If it's not chocolate, I'm not interested.
No, I am.
Well, they do
all into
have
it.
candy corn that has the little fudge on the bottom
I don't like
instead
that.
of
Oh,
the
I don't like-
orange.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd like that.
So, you know, like I have had, if there's a bowl of candy corn, I'll take one or two.
Right.
But I always say, oh my God, it's
So
overly sweet.
Yeah.
Did you bring any candy corn?
I did not bring any
Oh,
candy
That
corn.
would have been ideal.
I know, but I
I
didn't
love
do
it.
it. I didn't do it.
Where did
Too
I
bad.
just saw something about? Well, maybe you're going to say it, so I'm not going to say.
Oh, okay. So anyway, I will start with just like Halloween, and most of our Halloween costumes are from Samhain, right? Is
Yes.
that how you pronounce it?
I think so.
I think it's, even though it's Samhain, I think it's pronounced Samhain.
Okay.
And which is Irish, you know, the Celtic thing. And like the Samhain, the Catholic Church turned into All Saints Day.
Yeah.
Right.
Because, you know, Samhain was all pagan
Yes.
stuff, so the Catholic Church had to get involved. All Saints Day, and then the next day they made All Souls Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is all like part of Day of the Dead, too,
Yeah.
now in Mexico.
Dia de Muerte.
Yes, and then All Hallows Eve.
Take mine.
Oh, that's fine.
All Hallows Eve also. So, and then wearing costumes, that was meant to scare away the evil spirits in the pagan times. People, they believed to be roaming the earth on that day. And
So funny how.
I know.
Go ahead. It's
And the
just so-
treats were distributed to be eaten as offerings. You remember that song Soul Cakes?
No.
Oh, it was a folk song. Peter, Paul, and Mary did it.
don't anymore.
Oh, well anyway, they were called soul cakes, and that was the offering. Like you would go to your neighbor's house and get that offering, give me a soul cake, I'll eat it, and it's an offering to free your family from purgatory.
Oh.
So that's how the whole treat thing started. It was all based on that ancient thing of soul cakes. You have to look up the song. The song is great. It really is. It's an old
You should have
folk
bought
song.
the song and the candy.
I could play it. Yeah, I'm sorry about the candy. I didn't think of it. So, oh well. So the soul cakes, the souling ritual is believed to have prompted the idea of trick-or-treating.
Okay.
Okay? And then after World War II, we didn't, before World War II, we weren't giving out candy. We gave out some candy, but it wasn't a lot because there was the sugar restrictions.
Right.
There was, these, what do they call them? Not sanctions.
Tax?
No.
Tariffs?
No, they were
No,
just, they were
it was when there were shortages of everything.
Yeah, so they had
So anyway.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, I know, I
Do you
can't
know
think of
what
the
you
words.
I do.
Whatever. So in the late 40s after World War II, it was like nuts and fruits and coins, cookies, cake, candy. It was more, but actually it was more tricks than treats. It was more popular to play a trick on somebody than to get the treat.
That sounds like April Fool's
Yeah.
Day.
And in the 1950s, it got transformed into a more family-friendly.
Was it always then October 31st?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because of also. Okay.
Yeah. In the 50s, it got transformed into a more family-friendly thing with the costuming and taking your kids trick-or-treating, because I guess the tricks, they've been kind of mean, I guess,
Yeah.
So, okay. So anyway, I will get on to the candy corn here. And everybody knows what candy corn is.
Yes.
The 3 different colors, the white, the yellow, the orange. It was originally designed to look like
Corn on the cob.
chicken feed.
Oh, but
I can see that.
that's so weird because on the article I read, it was like they stacked them and it looks like a cob of corn.
Oh, no, the candy was designed to be candied chicken feed.
Oh,
Not for
interesting.
chickens, but for
Yeah.
humans. And there was a reason for that. All right, so first of all, you like candy corn?
Yes.
Do you like candy corn?
I do, but I don't eat it very often because it is so sweet.
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
only take
I
a
could
little.
eat the whole bag.
Yeah, I don't care for it myself.
Right,
I could eat a couple of pieces, and I always say,
I
why
never-
am I eating it? It's
Yeah, I
just
never
because
buy
it's
it.
there.
I don't buy
No,
it.
me
It's
neither.
good.
I would never have a
But you
bowl
buy
of
it.
candy cane, candy corn.
We've already gone
so
through
anyway.
2 bags already.
Oh my God, that's
house, yeah.
hysterical.
All right, so whether you like it or you hate it or just use it to decorate, which a lot of people will just put a bowl of it out because
Yeah.
it looks very fall-like and Halloween-y, you probably think of candy corn as a Halloween treat. But in the beginning, it was associated more with chickens than the spooky holiday. And candy corn's origins are a little bit iffy because they've been around for a long time. It started in the 1880s.
Wow.
It was a time when candy companies were mixing up these slurries of what's called mellow cream
Okay.
and sugars, and they were molding them into like pumpkins and acorns and chestnuts and turnips and other agricultural products, because farmers made up about half of the American labor force, and companies marketed agriculture-themed candies to children in farm country all year round. So enter candy corn. It was featured the innovation of 3 hand-layered colors. Oral histories identify the inventor of candy corn as George Renninger, an employee at Wonderley Candy Company in Philadelphia, which is now the Jelly Belly Company.
Oh, interesting.
It was the first company to sell, candy corn. It was made of sugar and corn syrup. That's why it's sickeningly sweet. But it was the Golitz Candy Company, Now,
The
the
what?
Jelly Belly, Golis,
okay.
Jelly Belly, all right, so this is the Jelly Belly one. Golis became Jelly Belly Candy Company that popularized it. In 1898, Golis picked up the recipe and started marketing the kernels as a candy called chicken feed. So it wasn't called candy corn.
Yeah, that would be so misleading.
Yeah, I know.
Actually,
Yeah,
giving it to my chicken.
I know.
Yeah.
So that's because before World War I, most Americans didn't really think of corn as people food. Corn wasn't
Right.
sweet and soft back then.
That's true.
It was not. People thought of it like you can't eat
Well, it depends
corn.
on the seeds too, because I know that my grandfather would plant cow corn.
Yeah.
And
mhm.
it was a different.
Well, that's why they started during. There were no sweet hybrids back in those days.
Right.
There was no sweet corn for humans to eat. It was coarse, it was cheap, and not very tasty.
Right.
And it was good for pigs and chickens. It wasn't until wartime wheat shortages that in 1917 that any but the poorest Americans would eat even cornmeal or anything.
Right.
So,
That's interesting.
and then after World War I, candy corn maintained its association with chickens. Packages of Golis's candy corn from the 1920s displayed a rooster and the motto, King of the Candy Corn Fields.
Wow.
So, yeah. So, in the first half of the 20th century, candy corn became a common penny candy. Now, I remember penny candies
Yeah.
when I was a kid. You know, if you had a penny or 2 pennies, you could get quite a bit of candy for it.
Yeah.
Some candies were 2 for a penny, and
Right.
we didn't have candy corn though. We had like multi-balls and Red Hot Dollars and nonpareils.
Oh, I forgot about the Red Hots.
Yeah. There were types of treats kids could buy in bulk for very little money, and kids most likely thought of them as candies to eat year-round than special ones to get on Halloween, which wasn't yet specifically associated with candy. This is back in the
Interesting.
beginning of the century, of the 20th century. Candy corn might appear at a Halloween party, but you would also see it at Easter and at Thanksgiving, like it would be there. So, and as Halloween became more and more dominated by candy beginning in the 1950s, candy corn increasingly became the candy for Halloween. There was a dramatic spike in October advertising of candy corn beginning in the 1950s. Other kinds of candy were advertised for Halloween too, but they were advertised just as heavily throughout the year. But candy corn became like an advertising focus, for Halloween. So today, while it's easy to find candy corn year-round, the National Confectioners Association estimates more than 35 million pounds of candy corn are sold every year. Judy buys it.
I was gonna say, she did the 30,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
It's
But I'm
most.
very particular. It only is one type I like.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
one
really?
brand.
It's one brand, which is the bra.
Yeah.
Which I was
yeah.
wondering if they were affiliated, because they didn't say, but I really
They were
like
not
theirs.
mentioned by. This is the
Okay.
National Candy Association
Gotcha.
that came out with this
Okay.
information. So it's easy to find it all year round now, and it's most prominent in October, when on the 30th, which I looked at my calendar and it's not marked on my calendar, the 30th of October is National Candy Corn Day.
So fun.
It honors
I'm gonna
the
have to buy some
original
more.
chicken feed treat. So,
Oh, that was interesting.
yeah, I thought so too.
Well, it's just, I'm sitting here thinking, like, you get the email every day, or is it every day?
every week, every week.
And it really, years ago.
He's
Sorry.
mad you didn't bring the candy corn either.
He's trying to get his costume off, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, he wants his costume up. It's just interesting that how much you can find, like, who would have ever thought, oh, I think I'll talk about candy corn.
I know that.
Yeah, and that's so interesting.
I get a lot of my ideas for the podcast
That's
from
right.
that. I said, oh, I never knew that. I bet a lot of people never knew that it was
I
called
know that.
chicken feed.
No.
And,
That
it was made
that
to
was
look like
interesting,
chicken
Peg.
feed.
I enjoyed
So
that.
anyway, after World War II, then everything was more family friendly, and there were a lot of miniature sized candies. Actually, that started in the 1930s 30s, the fun size.
Yeah.
Right.
It started in the 1930s. So now when you used to go trick-or-treating when you were kids,
I don't
where
know.
did you go?
I didn't. I went down to my grandmother's house. That was it.
Oh, that's so sad.
I know.
That was it. You know, we got a Hershey bar.
That's
Every
very
year-
sad.
Full-sized?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow.
It's a full size.
That's a good one.
And it was the same costume every year.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? It's fine. You know, really, it's fine. I just.
Well, you didn't know what you were missing
That's-
Oh
either.
no, I
so-
didn't know. Because even the town of Ellenburg, I knew kids would be like, "Oh, we went out trick or treat all the houses and
Oh,
the
why did you?
Yeah,
they
why
must
didn't
take
you
you like to Malone? or
Because it
something.
wasn't important. It really, they're
Yeah, I
farmers.
guess so. Yeah.
And I really think sometimes it's over the top. Anyway, I really do.
Oh,
And so
I forgot how many billions of dollars Americans spend on Halloween now.
Mm.
I was just reading something about it. I said, holy crap, between costumes
Yeah.
and candy and
Decorations.
parties and
Yeah.
decorations, it's billions and billions of dollars that we spend for one day.
Yeah, they
Very
did something
popular.
on the news about that today too. I was like, okay. Yeah.
But you
I
know
know.
what? It's also when I first moved to Long Island, I was surprised to see that the shaving cream and the
Oh,
egg throwing,
hated the shaving
lacy
Yeah.
stuff.
They used to take the paints off our cars.
Yeah,
That was the-
yeah. And I was like, well, that's not fun. That's
Yeah, that was the trick part of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
you
trick
know.
and the
Yeah.
eggs and
But
Yeah.
they didn't even know from the history why
Yeah,
they were doing it. They were
I
just,
know.
right. Oh, the
But
kids.
Because
Yeah.
it's trick or treat.
And it's
the
fun.
tricks for mischievous kids is more fun than the treats. Now, what did you used to get when you used to go trick or treating?
Oh, a lot of probably similar to what we get now.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the smaller candies or
Yeah.
little candies wrapped in bags. You know.
Oh, yeah, the
pops and
goodie
stuff-
bags
the
and
goodie
stuff,
bags, stuff
yeah.
like
yeah, and
that.
you used
Yeah.
to be able to do things like that and give apples, and then they started putting razor blades in apples.
Yeah.
Remember? I don't. Maybe
And
you're
no
too young
kid
to remember.
wanted an apple.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I never got a razor blade, but we used to
No.
get apples and oranges. We got candy too.
Yes.
right.
But the thing I liked the best was money. Because
Oh,
people
yeah.
used to put
Coins.
pennies in it.
Yes.
And when I was a kid,
Penny candy,
penny
yeah.
candy, man. If I had sometimes my mom would give me 2 cents to go to the candy store,
Wow.
and you could buy, like 4 pieces of candy.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And people used to somebody in my neighborhood used to slip a nickel in
In an apple.
Yeah.
That actually happened
Yeah.
to me. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
we would get some like pennies, like in an apple.
Yeah,
We'd get
yeah.
that. Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
used to dump out my bag and count how much money we got.
That is
So,
true, yeah.
Funny. That's funny.
Yeah,
I
but
was-
I
I was
love
about
Halloween.
the
I think it's fun. I like the decorations and,
I love
it's
autumn.
fun.
I love autumn decorations.
Yeah.
The
I know
fall.
you have some up already.
Yeah,
Yeah.
For yeah.
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 I've had the autumn up for about a month because before I was on the book tour, I was like, I better start doing some stuff because I'm just not gonna have time.
Well, we
Oh,
were
thank
up
you.
in the Adirondacks
Mm.
last week. Was it last week or the week before?
Like the week before.
A week and a half ago, whatever.
I know.
And it was so beautiful.
Yeah.
All
yeah.
the trees, the different colors, and then you have the evergreen trees between the colors with the dark green. And even
Peggy
today,
wasn't able to take a picture because she was driving.
I know. I saw
No,
all
it
these
is
photo
And you can't
opportunities.
pull over. It was-
No.
Yeah, when we drove through the Delaware Water Gap
Yeah.
Yeah.
this past
Yeah.
weekend, that was beautiful
Yeah.
to see. It's always nice, especially
know.
when you hit it right.
Even today on 135, I was driving. It was like so beautiful.
Well, you said it yesterday when we were driving
Yeah.
to Smithtown.
Yeah, on
just
the
like,
northern
no,
state. It's like, oh my God. And then I keep on thinking, oh, another month and a half, it's going to be totally bare.
Yeah.
It's fine.
And then it looks nice when there's snow after it
Yeah.
snows. Then it looks
Wow,
very
you
pretty.
admit that?
I like to look at snow. I just don't like it. I don't really hate snow as much as I say I do. I mean, when it snows, I go out and I shovel.
Right.
And it's kind of fun because Jessica and Peter are
Right,
out and the
right.
kids
Yeah.
come out and they're throwing snowballs. But I don't know. I just prefer spring, summer, and
Yes.
fall to winter. I don't like the cold. I don't like the winds.
Yeah,
so.
it's been very windy.
Yeah.
But thank you
So,
very
yes.
much.
Yeah, so
Thank you. So
anyway.
that was number 88.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween.
Halloween.
Go out and vote, and we will see you after that.
Yes, and maybe you'll get candy corn. Who
Yeah.
knows? If there's any left.
I'm gonna buy
Well,
some.
somebody knows
Bye,
that it's time
everybody.
to eat. I know, buddy.